All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are trying this for the 10th time because we have all sorts of technical difficulties. But we got it all squared away. We are so excited to feature on All About Ballroom Dancing, Monica Shiflett. Let's welcome her onto the screen right now.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's been a long time.
It's been years.
You know, the Navy. Yeah. So like we were just talking about like this whole COVID thing. So COVID came, shut everybody down. And so we did a virtual contest. And this is how we got to this point to do this podcast, because Monica is the grand prize winner of the Ready Player One virtual festival that we had in the beginning of the year, along with the Woodlands, which, Todd, is your studio.
Yeah, so we have a winner and artist, but we'll get to her later. We got Monica first.
Yeah.
Numero uno.
So,
Guinea pig.
Yeah. We're working out all our technical kinks with her.
Yeah, my mixer got COVID, so it finally got better today.
Yeah. So, Monica, tell us about yourself. Like, so I'm gonna show a photo of Monica. Check it out. You may or may not know. Well, you will now. You're gonna know now. Look at Monica. Oh, how cool. So Monica, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do to be able to stand behind or in front of a plane like that?
Oh, so I'm in the Navy, part of naval aviation. Currently, I'm in Virginia Beach at NAS Oceana. I fly in the back seat of F-18s. So I'm the Weapons Systems Officer, or WISO for short.
Goose.
Yeah, Goose from Top Gun.
Who's up there? Cougar and Merlin and Maverick and Goose? Great. Maverick and Goose. Greetings. Watch the birdie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this picture was actually from the T-45, which is the advanced jet trainer out in Pensacola. And that picture was actually from the day that I earned my wings. It was my last flight there.
Oh, that was like, I just got my wings picture?
Yeah.
So that's cool.
It's like, yeah, that's me and the pilot and the other crew from the jet that were out there that day, walking back after we landed.
So are these all WISOs?
No, so the other girl in the picture is a WISO, and then the two guys are pilots.
Okay.
And so when you land, like there will be like a group of other students or family and friends waiting there for you, and you'll like come in, you'll take your gear off, and they'll just like spray you down with some champagne, dump like ice bucket on top of you, and then you take some pictures and stuff. So yeah,
That's cool.
So is it? Oh, look at her right there.
Look at, she's like, I'm better than all of you all. I got my wings. I'm cool.
She is.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, we'll come back to that one. But look at that. Is that the ice bucket? Ice bucket. Congratulations.
Yeah, and then the champagne there on the left.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
That's fun. That's cool. Let's see what else. Congratulations,
And
handshake.
he was my pilot for the day, for my last flight.
Cool. So is he an actual pilot, or was he training as well?
No, so he's an actual pilot. He's actually a Marine Corps F-18 pilot.
Oh. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go back to this photo right here. Look at that. Look at that. See that? Yeah. Sister, twinsies.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what made you get into the Navy? Like, how does being a WISO, where did that come from?
Well, so getting into the Navy, I grew up in just outside of San Diego. So, I mean, grew up around it. Like, they've got all the, like, there's aircraft carriers, there's helicopters there, there's Marine Corps bases, there's submarines out there. Like, they've just got everything. So I've been around it my whole life. So it wasn't like that weird. two of my cousins actually were in the Navy. And then, so I have a twin sister from that picture, you can tell. And she was actually interested in Naval Academy. She applied there, and then she found this ROTC scholarship that basically they pay for everything but room and board. And I was like, sure, why not? Like, I'll try for it. Like, saves a lot of money. And ended up getting that and did ROTC, ended up enjoying it, really liked the people, so stuck with it. And then after your junior year, you have to put in preferences, like, this is what I want, this is my number one choice, number two choice. And I was actually thinking submarines prior to that. And then that summer, I had an internship at Northrop Grumman. And where I was working was they build part of the F-18 before they go ship it off to be finished. So I got to see all that. They do the same thing with the F-35, and they build the E-2 and some other planes. And I was like, this aviation stuff is actually kind of cool. So then I went and took the aviation test and ended up putting for the F-18, it's called the WISO, but in general, it's a naval flight officer. So I put NFO as my top choice. And then going through flight school, you continue to like get graded and rank at each step of the way. And I kept putting jets on top, and then that's how I ended up out here and back in F-18. Yeah.
Wait, so I don't think I knew that. Was recognizing these pictures? Was this in the test to be able to find out where you go?
No. Are you sure?
I don't know if you can see this.
Sure.
This photo right here. I mean, he's looking pretty goose.
You should grow a mustache, Monica, and like that, and just totally.
When we land at the boat, like all the guys like grow mustaches, like it's a thing. Like they're like boat mustaches. And they're like, you need to get like a stick-on mustache or something.
Yeah,
and I was like,
so funny.
Apparently, there was a story like some girl like drew it on with Sharpie.
Nice.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Are you sure you're saying some girl, or are you referencing yourself?
Well, yeah. I haven't landed at the boat yet, so.
Okay.
When? So is that going to happen?
Yeah, it's coming up here at the end of January. Yeah.
That's cool. Is it scary?
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't done it yet. I've heard it's like some pilots talking about it's like little postage stamp out in the middle of the water, and you just got to find it and land on it. Yeah. So.
Right. I used to play video games, and I had to do that a lot in the video game, and it was so I understand exactly what you're going through. When I first did that, it was a little bit intimidating, but after a while, it was like nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm relying on the pilot to do it. So.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But you got just having your finger on that trigger, being a guy who plays video games with Taras a lot, that would just be so cool.
Yeah.
Because I think I've told you, my brother was, he's in the Army, and he was a longbow pilot, the helicopter, the Apache. And he would tell me times about, when he were practicing. And I remember at the beginning, he was learning to fire. He was just like, man, the whole helicopter just shakes. It's really crazy. I just thought, I'll never be able to do that. Damn it.
Well, so we don't actually do it from the back seat. The pilot will be the one who actually like releases it or like fires the gun.
But you do the targeting.
I do the systems. So like I'll make sure everything's set up and like enter in like any like data and like all that stuff.
But didn't you say before don't you get to do that? I thought we talked about that once. About firing.
No, we don't actually get to. Yeah. So
do you want to?
Our
do you want
controllers
to
in the
fire
back
it?
seat, the triggers actually don't fire anything. They're like
really?
They actually serve different purposes. Actually, well, with one of them we can do like a laser for like IR energy type stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool, but just to be in there when it that's going to be an interesting. Because have you been inside when it was fired? weapon?
Yep.
Is that crazy feeling? Just, I mean, probably not crazy.
Well,
Maybe
so
it's the
it's
wrong
like
word, but
you can hear it. It's like when the gun fires, it's like really loud. It's just like it doesn't really shake anything, but it's just if you're not ready for it, you're just gonna be like, "What was that?"
right.
Or like if you have to drop like a heavier bomb, like you'll actually like feel it come off,
yeah.
like one of the
Right.
wings.
You know, when I'm in the car and I'm not driving, I can get motion sick. I can't even imagine being not in control. Cause when you're controlling the car and you anticipate, your brain is anticipating where it's going, it's probably a little less, but when you're in the back and they can do whatever they want. I would be so sick. So how many times did you get car sick?
Well, I have not gotten sick in F-18
You haven't?
yet. Knock on wood.
Oh man.
I got sick, I think, once in both the T6 and the T45. Just granted, I also ate like lunch right before the flight and
Ooh,
greasy food, and I would not recommend that.
So take notes, everybody. Don't eat
greasy
grilled
food
cheese
right
sandwich.
before a lot of maneuvering, is not a good time. But yeah.
So what do you find more motion sickening? Being in the back of that, or doing shaping and sway with Taras during a waltz? Which is worse?
The jet.
Be honest. Okay, the jet's worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would imagine.
Honestly,
okay, so I found this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So honestly, like I'm so used to like not really knowing what's happening. You kind of have to be like ready at all times for like what the pilot's going to do. So it's the repetitive. It's like when you're like, for example, one of the flights we do is like for the beginning when pilots are learning how to drop ordnance is literally we're just flying in a circle, dive, drop, pull up, circle, dive, drop, pull up. And it's the like repetitive, like over and over that you're just, by the end, you're like, oh my God, please can we just fly straight and level? But like when it's just like a bunch of maneuvering, it's not the air sickness that'll get you, it's the pulling the G's that'll get you. Because like some people, if they're not ready for it and they haven't tensed up, like their vision, like it'll start to like tunnel vision or like start to gray out and stuff. So
wow. So when you guys are flying over Oceania, because on my way to the studio, 9 times out of 10, I'm seeing jets flying around in circles, and I'm assuming they're touch and goes. But do you ever like simulate ordnance drops over? No,
not
you
over
can't
the
because you're
field.
actually okay because you're actually dropping stuff at that point.
Yeah, I mean, we can like simulate it and not drop anything, but there's an area, I think it's like North Carolina-ish. I don't know. It's south. And it's like actual area where we're allowed to drop stuff, but it's not like live ordnance. They're like dummy bombs.
Right. Is that Fentress?
No,
I think that's Fentress. No.
Fentress is where they practice the carrier landings.
Oh.
So they just go there and like land. Well, touch and go,
Okay.
touch and go.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, every time I see jets flying over, I'm like, I know her. Okay, so I found this video, and it's like a minute long, but you can kind of see. I don't know if you're going to have sound on this, but check it out. So this is they're landing. He's going to be landing.
So that was the break when he just like turned real quick.
How many G's are happening right there?
Right here, probably not too many. The initial will probably be, I don't know, 4 or 5.
There's your postage stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's probably only like a couple hundred feet up right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
So crazy. And like, how fast is he coming in, do you think?
Probably about like 130 knots or something like that. 130, 140-ish.
Jeez.
What speed do you land at?
About
100.
I mean, it depends on the weight.
Damn.
But yeah, you'll be probably about 130. And he's for taking a trap on the carrier. You actually have to have like the throttles up. just in case you like miss and have to go around.
Yeah. So how,
So.
at what distance are you stopping? You know, from touching to that thing yanks you and you just, your head jolts forward. Like, what is the distance?
I'm not
From
really
speed
sure,
to
but I do know like people, so like you can lock, so the harness that like holds you in, like you're supposed to lock it, because I do know people who have forgotten to lock the harness and they'll like come forward and they'll just like hit their head.
Yeah.
Or like if like your helmet bag, because we hold it in there, like if it's not like secured, it'll like go flying to the front.
Yeah.
So how does ballroom dancing come into play? How did that start? How did you walk into Virginia Beach Arthur Murray's?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So way back, it was either the summer before I started my freshman year of college or after my freshman year of college. There was a brand new dance studio that opened up like right down the street from where we lived. And we're like, let's try it. Like, I'm not really doing anything this summer. So we took lessons for maybe like 4 weeks. And then we left for school. And then we never did it again. And then about 2 years ago now, I was in Pensacola and I had some downtime and I was like, what can I do? And there was a dance studio there and I was like, sure, I'll try it, see what happens. And then came to the Arthur Murray studio when I came up here.
And that's when you really started loving dancing.
She's like, now it's real.
Now it's real. So Monica, her instructor is Noah, which one of these days we should probably interview our staff at some point. So you'll get to meet Noah. But what are some things that you're liking about your lessons? What are some dances you're liking? So tell us a little bit about your journey at the studio at this point.
Okay. So when I came in, I'd been dancing for about, I think it was like just over a year. So I kind of, basic understanding of stuff. And then what I really wanted to focus on was like, if I'm going to do it properly. So we not only learn like new steps and stuff, but also focus on like the technique, making sure I'm going where I'm supposed to be doing and my body is moving where it's supposed to be. But we also have a lot of fun with it. So.
You do.
Yeah.
Right? So when I watch you guys on the floor, you do look like you're having a lot of fun. And just to tell you guys a little bit about Monica, which I'm going to try to find a video of her dancing. So when they kind of opened things up a little bit, Monica was able to come into the studio, and even though we were all still wearing masks and all that, we did the movie, and she featured one of her dances. And I might show that a little bit later, but Monica's a very technical learner. She's got great, her Cuban motion, bro. If you saw her Cuban motion, you'd be like, bruh.
It's like my
so
son.
good.
Bruh.
So good. She's got great ankles, great ankles, great feet, great leg action.
Amazing ankles.
Amazing ankles.
Amazing ankles. First thing I noticed when I saw her.
Where else? Like, how weird is that, right? Like, only in the dance world would you be like, man, you got good ankles.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
Other women be so jealous.
Yeah. So, I'm going to look for her performance, but what got you? I think you shared with me once before, like your family is into dancing, right?
Yeah, so actually both my half sisters. Yeah, so they're a little bit older than me and my twin sister. So we didn't really live together growing up. They were both already out of the house, but they both dance. One of them actually owns a Pilates studio now, but the other, she actually went around and would like judge some competitions and stuff. They did a lot of like jazz, ballet, tap, that type of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Your sister has a Pilates studio?
Yep.
Side note, Wendy and I started doing Pilates, and that has been making the biggest difference in me being able to move, strengthening, like toning everything again. Like I haven't taught or I haven't really danced for what, a good year?
10 years? Not really danced.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a year. But just like the last month or so, I've started being able to get back kind of moving again. In the last few weeks, I've been doing Pilates, and I started like working with the staff again. And even last night we're working with them, and I'm like able to do like lunges and like, so I can move again. And I think it's all because of Pilates.
Yeah, it's very intense workout.
Yeah,
very
it's
like
awesome.
total body and just like, yeah.
Yeah, let me say, when I started competing, my old partner and I said, let's go do something other than dancing. Let's as training for our competing. And I said, let's do Pilates. So we went to the gym I went to, and the Pilates class at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock is all 70-year-old women, right? It's all old women.
Did they show you
I was
that?
the only guy. Oh my God. I went in there thinking, I'm going to kick these ladies' butts. They wiped me clean, man. They wiped me on the floor. I was like, my core wasn't as strong as I thought in those positions. It was so, I thought it was cool actually that they were so good and I wasn't, but yeah, I had a big respect for Pilates after that.
All right. Y'all ready to see this? This is Monica's performance.
I'm ready.
This is her rumba.
Of course, the audio podcast, they might not be ready to see it.
Oh, good point. So
they'll just have to wait 1 second when I edit that out.
Yeah. Or they can just listen to the song and hear us talk about her. But
that's true.
Yeah.
We'll figure.
All right. Make sure. Let me know if you can hear the audio on this.
Yes.
Split screen action.
Ooh, look at Bubble. Yeah. Ooh, that was a cool transition. I love the fringe pants. They're always good.
They are good.
Yeah.
So how did it feel dancing with a mask on?
It's weird. Especially like if it starts to move.
Did you feel like it was tough to breathe in it, or were you still able? Because you're a pretty higher dancer. You're still
It's weird, like if it like actually gets like pulled to your face, like if it like sucks in and you're just like, oh.
But you did it anyway. That's good. Good arms.
Had to go out and learn arms.
Yeah, that's good. You're looking in front when you're dancing.
those ankles, good articulation.
Look at those ankles.
Look at that. Ooh.
Look at that. Yeah.
Slow
Gratitude.
Yeah, cool. There it is.
Yeah, that was cool. That was really good. Yeah, and the fringe pants always help. Really, if you can work your hips, it really works the fringe. So that was
Yeah,
good.
I had to get those we did a showcase in Pensacola, and we did an opening number with some of the girls, and so we all had to wear something like similar or the same. So we all got like the matching fringe pants. So I was like, if I have them, might as well wear them.
Hey, gotta wear them.
Yeah. But something that Natalie, so my twin sister, said about that was that she was like, usually when it's more of a like performance, and you weren't performing on that. I was like, oh, okay.
Your
She's
sister
like,
always got to say something.
Yeah, because like the other thing with the mask is like you can't see facial expressions.
Right.
So, and there's like
students.
a lot of people like dancing and stuff, like the facial expressions like help emphasize and stuff. So,
yeah, it's one thing. Right now we're getting ready for a theater event, and like y'all have a theater event now. So when everyone practices with the mask on, and it was one of those things I kind of forgot about last week. I have 3 ladies in this run routine, and they said, well, how do you want us to, look when we're doing this? And I thought, man, this whole time, because the mask, I haven't been talking about the theater aspect of we're doing Austin Powers section where they're fembots. So it's like sometimes they're robotic, which is okay to have zero emotion, but there's times they go out of it. So we had to I was like, dang, next 30 minutes, that's all we did is where to look and how to emote there, because just kind of, you forget about that non-expressive side of which dancing requires. But
Yeah.
So did you find underneath your mask, Monica, were you still doing your stuff, or did you slack on it?
Not really. I feel like I just kind of forgot. I was like, oh, like if I mess up or something, like I definitely like start smiling and I'm like, but
yeah.
I feel like it just kind of, it's not something that I think about because I know it's like hidden.
Did you complain at all about wearing a mask?
No.
Yeah, that's good. See, that's the takeaway in this too. Some of the students, I want to put my little soapbox up. There's, like our studio is running a little like half what we normally do. And there's students that just don't want to wear a mask. And that's the only reason. Like, I don't want to come and wear a mask. I can't handle it. I'm thinking, my God, there's so many reasons you have to wear a mask to go to grocery stores. And so they think that it is impossible to dance or breathe, more than like they were sleeping at a, resting state in their body, that they can't breathe in a mask. And it's not that bad. Do we all want to, do I want to wear a mask when I do a routine? No, but it's not that bad, right?
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
At all.
You'll be our spokesperson for it's not that bad hashtag.
Some people literally have to wear it like all day, and you just have to wear it for 45 minutes.
Right. It's like 45 minutes, right?
We have she now moved. I mean, we have a few doctors in the studio, but Rika, which you both know, she's a surgeon, a trauma surgeon, works in the ER, and she came to visit a couple days ago, last week during Thanksgiving, or that's not last week. Anyway, she came to visit during Thanksgiving, but she wears like 2 sets of masks all the time, and then plus a shield when she's working, plus a shield, plus all the other protective layers that she has to wear on top of her. And she does 12-hour shifts, and she's doing saving people's lives. So
right. It's like quit complaining.
Yeah. And I know masks, when you're working out, I know it's hard, you're breathing or whatever, but you're right. It's not that long of a time.
And they do have masks specifically designed for working out and stuff. There's a marathon runner who, I forget who he is. Someone was telling me about him, but even before all this was going on, he would wear a mask to run, and because he had asthma or something, so he couldn't run outside and had to wear a mask. So
right.
Yeah.
He probably knew something was going down.
Sometimes people use masks to to simulate elevation training, to thin out the air,
right.
So you can.
Yeah, have you ever seen people run with those? Yeah, they test the amounts. They do air capacity of the lungs and all kinds of things. And
Okay, before I go to this, because I found a couple more stuff on Monica. But before we go to this other thing, your twin sister, Natalie, she takes lessons at the studio as well.
Yes.
So are you competitive against each other? Are you supportive of one another? What's that dynamic like?
Look at that smirk. She's like, mm-hmm.
I will say we are very competitive in basically everything. I have been dancing, I think it was about 6 to 8, 9 months longer than her. So, I mean, we are also very supportive. So it's almost half a year to a year difference in the amount of time we've been dancing. So you gotta, competitive, but I've been dancing longer. So right. I kind of have a head start. Right. So, I mean, if I see something, I'll try to help her out, point stuff out for her. And, but also, at the same time, we're also very competitive.
Yeah, that's funny. So being that you're twins, yes. Do you both so what is do you both like the same dances? Do you both that whole twin connection? Is that a real thing? You're oh, we both love rumba.
We've always liked very similar things. I don't know, I feel like, favorites might be a little bit different, but if you said like, oh, do you prefer like this style versus this style, we'd probably pick the same thing.
Okay, so first, Monica, I just had listener feedback tweet in. They want to know, so who's better?
Well, I have
That's
a
the first
dancing
question.
locker, so
We all know you're better. I just wanted you to say it, so go ahead and just keep saying it. Monica's king or queen.
I had a head start, so.
How long was your head start now?
I think it was like probably 6 to like, I don't know, 8 months or something around there.
That's a lot in the, going from the beginning stages of a dancer, fast forwarding 8 months. Yeah, that's a big deal. So you're better, but will, now when it comes down to, I know you kind of talked about the competitive side of both of you, but let's say you're going out for a routine. You do a routine, let's say at a theater event, or we'll just use a theater event for an example. She comes out at the end. Are you both like, man, now even if you do better, are you just like, oh, that was a great job? Or is someone going to go, that was a great job, you could have done this a little better or that a little better? Like who's more maybe nitpicky, who puts the knife and twists it at the end? Who does that?
Both of us.
Both equally. So are you equally?
But it's constructive criticism.
Right. Like, so
I
you
like,
both equally constructive, or is anyone a little more like, oh, you didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's constructive. Like,
Okay,
just trying
that's
to be
good.
helpful.
Just trying to be helpful. Now, do both of you take it that way, or does someone take it harder than the other?
I think so. Well, so we're both very like technical. We're like, okay, we want to do it correctly. Like, So if someone sees something and you're like, oh, well, okay. And then you can incorporate it later rather than just somebody not saying something and you still continue to do it wrong. So. Right.
No, that's good. Okay. So now that's after. Now beforehand, say you both are competing in Ladies A scholarships and you both are going to walk on the floor. Are you going good? Are you in your mind now? Are you saying what you mean, or are you meaning what you say? Are you going to go like, good luck, sis? Okay. Are you like, okay, there you go. Beforehand, you're going to like undo part of the back of her dress and walk on the floor. And like, sure.
I don't have to do that.
That's funny.
I don't have to do that. I'm going to beat her anyway. Okay.
Yeah, because that time might come. I mean, but right now, like, so Monica's working in associate silver and Natalie's in full bronze, I think. So they're kind of at different levels right now.
But it's going to happen.
But it will eventually happen. I actually have my student Susie. She competes scholarship, and her sister takes lessons in the
Silver
now
Spring?
she's in. She was in Silver Spring. Now she's in the Gaithersburg studio.
Gaithersburg. Okay.
Yeah, but when she was in Silver Spring before Omar, because Omar moved to Richmond.
Right. Yeah.
Which hopefully, Monica, if you're still here next year and you don't have to go to wherever you're going to go, we're going to try to do combined events with Richmond as well. So you'll meet Omar. But Susie and Kathy,
of all the sisters.
Yeah, they competed against each other.
Yeah.
And it was, of course, they were supportive, but they were both in scholarship. And Kathy's great, but Susie always pulled it out. She always kind of.
You see his face. You see his face there. He's like, yeah. She's
well,
somehow.
I don't want to
say it's because
when your sister's competing, you just kind of turn it up just a little bit.
Yeah. Even extra, huh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right. So speaking of competitive sports and competitive stuff, so check this out. So Monica's hobbies. I almost said Natalie. Sometimes that happens. We have the two of them will be at the studio at the same time, and one of my students was like, because it's the mask, right? So you still have similar body. I mean, you guys look pretty much the same. Okay. Check it out. Look at that. What are we doing here there, Monica?
So that was the All-Navy women's softball team. This was last year. Actually, probably about a year and a half ago now. That was actually in Pensacola. So there's all Navy sports. They have all types of sports, from like softball, golf, bowling, boxing. The softball lasts for about a month out of the year. So like they'll have like tryouts, practices, and then tournament. The tournament is Navy, Army, Air Force, and Marines, and they'll all compete there. And then from those 4 teams, they'll like pick a all armed forces team, and they'll go compete at nationals. So this was last year, the Navy team in Pensacola.
That's cool. That's cool.
And then this one?
Yeah, so that's a women's team in Pensacola that I played with. That was actually one of the tournaments, I think, in Panama City. One of the national tournaments there. So.
What's the hashtag for?
That
girls.
No.
Am I being sexist right now?
No, it's so that was.
You can't say?
Yeah, it's
okay. Tell us later.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I figured it out. Okay. So here's the Navy one.
Yeah.
This is
the same team from about a year ago.
Same team. Navy.
Same. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just not in uniform. It's a co-ed team in Pensacola. There's like Friday night tournaments that'll start at like 6:00, and then you'll just play like throughout the night. It'll usually end sometimes around like 1, 2 in the morning.
Okay.
That's cool.
Oh, there we are again.
Oh.
All right. So my question is, look at the camera for this one. I don't see any pictures on your Facebook, because that's me creeping on your Facebook of your dancing.
Wow,
there
in your
are
face.
There are some.
Ooh.
I think there are. There should be.
Oh man,
right.
I think
Talk
there might be.
yourselves. I'll go find something.
Yeah, I think maybe there might be some possibly. Wow, Monica. Okay, so
I'm really bad about posting stuff. I have pictures. I just don't post them.
Except for your softball, of course. Then that's
that's
fine.
If you notice, those are most of those are ones I'm tagged in.
You tagged, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Ooh, whew. Good out there. Whoo. So what are your hobbies? Dancing, softball, anything else?
I mean,
torturing your sister.
Yeah. So I play golf.
Oh, you play golf?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, now what kind of golf? Like you play golf like you have a handicap, or you play golf like you just play golf?
I play golf like I just kind of play golf. I mean, I'm not bad, but I'm not great. I'll probably shoot about 100.
Hey, it's 100 and below. That's legit.
That's better than Todd does.
That's better than I do. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I actually kept score when I played. Like we would play, like trust me, it was only like once a year or so.
Yeah.
But I don't think I ever really kept track of what I was hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have a really bad slice, so that's what it kills
Just gotta
me.
go to the driving range or Top Golf.
Yeah, I do, and it's still there. Still, it follows me there. It's wherever I go, that damn thing follows
Just keep
me.
practicing.
Yeah, well, I like golf, and one day my mother-in-law is part of a country club, so she golfs like 3 times a week.
Okay.
And maybe one day, like being outside, I love being outside. I just find when I sit down and play, if I know I'm going to play a game of golf, I just know there's like 4 or plus hours out of my day. You know, it's just like a long day.
Yeah.
But outside, I feel like it. Maybe later in life, I'll enjoy it more.
Yeah, it's just annoying when you get like stuck behind somebody or like this group that's just really slow and you can't pass them, and then it just gets really annoying. But
yeah, so you should have golfed with us. See, what we would do is we would find big turtles on the ground and put them on people's golf carts to freak them out when they sit down. Do you remember? Right. We find animals and try to keep ourselves busy. And man, just scream like a little girl.
Yeah.
Did you know these people that you put the animal?
Yeah, it was Hunter, one of the guys who owns the Arthur Murray in Cyprus. If you know Hunter Johnson, James did it, right? I think our friend James found a big old, it's like a big old turtle. It wasn't like a little box turtle, and it wasn't a snapping turtle either, because those are pretty scary. But it was a big turtle, and he put it on his seat. So when he came back to sit down, he sat down and like screamed and ran out of the golf cart. It was
so funny.
It's like, he was scared like a turtle was going to get him.
Well, anything sitting there probably would have surprised you.
Yeah,
that's true.
See, when you go to a ballroom competition, what you do after the competition is over, that's what you do. Or at least that's what we do. We do. And then what else? We went hog hunting too.
We used to go hog hunting a lot.
Yeah.
So, and like it's crazy hog hunting. That was fun.
So you would think that ballroom dancers would never go hog hunting. That wouldn't be a thing, but it is a thing.
But yeah, we go camping and hog hunting.
Yeah.
That's what ballroom dancers do. Most
sounds
of them,
like
at
fun.
least.
Yeah. Monica, you've been hog hunting, yeah?
No,
but it sounds like fun, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's funny.
Sounds amazing.
It's on the company.
That is true. Is there anything that you do that would not, like we were saying, we hog hunt, and a lot of people would not think, because we would bring all of our friends. So it's like sometimes we have like 9 ballroom dancers, and we would have these people bringing us out, and these, generally, not to stereotype, but some of the guys who'd bring us out hog hunting are, I'd say, rural type guys, right? Really cool guys. They were so much fun, but they, and they would inevitably sitting there and say, what do you all do? We say we're all ballroom dancers. It's always like, you would hear like the record.
They're like, wait.
Right. And they're like, what? It was like the craziest thing, but they always thought it was the coolest thing. Like they're country guys, and they were like, they just would always talk about it. Like it was just so amazing. And then, they would tell stories of going country dancing when they were younger or something. So yeah, it was always cool. So is there anything you do that's like people would go, wow, Monica does that?
Ballroom dancing.
Is that, usually ballroom dancing is the thing. That usually
surprises people.
Yeah, most people, and whenever, to us, we talk about, sometimes when we go out, if you're in a group of friends, there may be friends, or I shouldn't say group of friends. If you're the group of people who are not your immediate friends, and everyone goes around and talks about something, and you just know, if someone's going to ask me what I do when I say ballroom dancing, that's what we're going to be talking about for the next 20 or 30 minutes.
Yep.
So yeah, it's usually the thing that interests people.
What's cool about being in Virginia Beach, though, since we moved here it's such a Navy town or a military town, is we have so many people of all sorts of jobs in the military coming and taking lessons from Wizzos to pilots to
SEALs
to Marines to, I think the art of ballroom dancing, it's social. You learn how to dance with somebody. It's really great. It is a great thing for anybody to do, no matter what they do. It's just another way of kind of communicating. And it's really kind of interesting to see, different people that you never think that would come in and take lessons. They come in and they dance.
That's what's awesome about it. Brings the world together.
It does. Yeah. It's cool. So Monica.
Yes.
Why do you think people should learn how to ballroom dance?
Well, one, it's fun. It's a ton of fun.
That's a good reason.
Meet new people. I wouldn't know 99% of the people at the studio if I didn't go. I would basically just know Natalie. Learning something new is always, I find learning something new is fun, and just expand your horizons.
So do you think learning to dance is is that something that was kind of out of your comfort zone, or is that something because your family did it, you were comfortable, so it is out of your comfort zone?
I mean, like, I never did dance growing up. It wasn't like something, unless you counted when you're like 3, you just dress up and walk around in a circle.
That's what Taras does to the studio.
So like it was very out of my comfort zone. I was like, I don't like, even now, like when Taras is there, like watching me dance, I'm like, oh my God, don't look at me, please don't.
Yeah.
I have those judging eyes.
Yes.
Like, what was that?
Dun, dun.
Oh, that was good. Oh,
He doesn't hide it on his face very well, does he?
The mask doesn't hide the judging eyes.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. So I was talking to one of my students the other day and just asking her, like, based on what she does for work, she has very little time to have anything that does anything as far as self-expression or anything artistic. Do you feel like there's an artistic side of you that this helps like connect with, or is it more of like an exercise thing that you like, or is it more of just the social aspect, or is it all of it?
I guess all of it. I've never thought of myself as very like artistic person, but just, it just kind of like stop thinking for a minute and just kind of go.
Awesome. Well, I mean, we've been talking for almost an hour. I think. Yeah,
it's funny, right? No matter what, we always think, like, oh, I wonder how, sometimes podcasts, people try to keep it to a certain time and we don't. It doesn't matter what we do. It takes us an hour at least to do it.
Well, it could be like the Joe Rogan podcast and it could go for like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, right. That's true. That is true. His goes on and on. And his guests aren't nearly as entertaining and cool as ours.
Thank you.
So
right.
I think that what you would bring people in, because there's students obviously that watch this, listen to this, or watch this. And sometimes they want to hear someone that represents them. Yeah. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yes, you, Monica, you.
Am I supposed to point too?
Yes.
Ross and I pointed, so yeah.
Yeah.
Audio podcast people are lost.
They are. Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Monica, for joining us for this podcast. It was really great.
Thanks, Monica. Yeah. You're awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Till next time.
We'll see you on the dance floor.